Hi, I'm Cindy, and I will be covering Chapter 2 National Differences in Political Economy. The political economy is extensive and very complex. It is an interdisciplinary field focusing on production, trade, and the relationship with the law and the government. It stresses that the political, economic, and legal systems of a country are interdependent. They interact and influence each other and affect the level of economic well being. The political system is the system of governments in a nation. Each political system impacts the economic and legal policies. Political systems can be accessed in two ways: collectivism versus individualism, and democratic versus totalitarianism. To elaborate on the first dimension of a political system, collectivism refers to a political system that stresses the primacy of the collective goals over individual goals. The direct opposite of collectivism is individualism. Its central tenet is that individual economics and political freedom are the ground rules, therefore, people should be free to pursue their economic and political endeavor, centered on the idea of less government involvement or intervention. As for the second dimension of political systems, democracy is the most common form of government around the world today. It is a government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised by them directly or indirectly through a system of representation. On the other hand, totalitarian is where one person or party has absolute power over most of human daily lives. Examples of such nations are North Korea and Cuba. With these political systems, it is also interrelated to each country's economic system, the markets, command, and mixed economies. In a pure market economy, all the production are privately owned. A command or planned economy occurs when the government controls all major aspects of the economy and economic production. Mixed economy involves certain sectors of economies of market economy and command economy. It was once very common in the world, but these days they are becoming less prevalent. Now we will be focusing briefly on how the political and economy ideology impacts their legal system. The legal system of a country refers to the rules or laws that regulate behavior. There are three main types of legal systems: common law, which is based on tradition, precedent, and custom; civil law, which is based on a very detailed set of laws organized into codes. These include Germany, France, Japan, and Russia. Third is theocratic law, which is based on religious teachings, where Islamic law is the most widely practiced. Moving on to the topic of property rights and corruption, property rights refers to the exclusive authority to determine how a resource is used. Countries with different legal systems handle property rights, which can be violated in two ways: through private action and public action. Private action is the violation of property rights through theft, piracy, blackmail. Public action, on the other hand, occurs when there is a violation of property rights such as bribery, corruption, and legal mechanism. We will now be covering intellectual property and intellectual property rights. Intellectual property is property that is the product of intellectual activity. Examples include computer software, screenplay, and music score. Ways to protect intellectual property are patents, copyrights, and trademarks. A patent is a form of intellectual property that gives its owner the legal right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention for a limited period of years in exchange for publishing and enabling public disclosure of the invention. Copyright is the type of intellectual property that gives its owners the exclusive right to make copies of a creative work, usually for a limited time. And trademark is a word, phrase, symbol, or design that identifies and distinguishes the source of the goods of one party from those of others. So this wraps up the presentation for Chapter 2. I hope that you have grasped a better understanding of the national differences in political economy and that you have found this video to be helpful and informative. Thank you for listening.